Hey everyone, we're back. It's Fundamental Friday, and today we're talking all about depth. Depth is important in the world of golf, but you have to understand where depth comes from. Depth is just a fancy term of how far are our hands away from the target line. So here's our target line on the ground here. If I set up to this golf ball and make a poor pivot and just try to lift my arms, you can see that I don't have much depth in my golf swing. My hands are very close to the target line. Now, if I set up an over pivot or get the golf club underneath me on the plane line, I could have too much depth. Now, it's very tough to get this golf club back around me from here. So what I have for you is a stick that's placed just outside my right heel. And if I set up to this golf ball and take my backswing, you can see that my hands are just inside this stick. You could also see that my right elbow is parallel vertically to the stick that's on the ground. Now that's an important piece to understand, because what I'm trying to do is get my left arm across my spine, because things spin fastest at 90 degrees. However, everybody has limitations. Depending on how much external rotation you have in your right arm will depend on how much depth you get in your backswing. Too much depth is not good. Not enough depth is sometimes okay, as long as you can laterally move. That's another discussion for another day, but understand that we want to get as much depth as we possibly can get in order to get 90 degrees to that spine. If I do so, chances are I can hit shots with a lot of depth. Now, that was a very simple motion. I made sure that I got my hands into a good position at the top. A great way to practice this is keeping a club on the ground and just using your hands. And what I like to do is I like to put my rear end on a wall, and I like to turn and touch the wall. So you can see that my hands got behind me right in line with that stick, just inside. What we don't want to do is just to touch the wall. We never want to come out of our posture just to touch the wall. I'd rather have somebody's head stay in posture and get back as far as they can with the limitations that they have, as opposed to coming off the ball. So watch for it when you're practicing out there. The question is, how deep can you go? You want to go as deep as you possibly can, because you start to align some forces very nicely in the golf swing. Try it out there next time you're practicing. See if you can find some depth with your hands, and guess what? That rotational force will start to increase in your golf swing. Thanks for tuning in for another Fundamental Friday. We'll see you soon.